All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wapsie. Welcome into Wapsie Valley High School from your home for tonight. Warrior High School Wrestling Triangular as Wapsie Valley hosts the Denver Cyclones and the South Hardin-BCLUW Storm tonight in an NICL Conference Triangular. In the middle of our starting lineups from our PA address announcer. Our order of the duels tonight, Wapsie Valley will open things off, wrestling South Hardin-BCLUW. Second duel of the night, the Storm from South Hardin-BCLUW will face the Denver Cyclones. And in the final duel of the night, the rivalry, your Wapsie Valley Warriors and the Denver Cyclones. I'm joined on the broadcast tonight by Johnny Kleitch. Hope all of you are ready for a great night of wrestling. A little preview coming into the night. Wapsie Valley, so far this season, holds an 8-3 record in duels and 5-1 in the conference. The Cyclones from Denver are 9-5 and 4-0 in the conference. And BCLUW comes in at 3-9 and 1-2 in conference duels. Running down Wapsie Valley's lineup, the starters will be at 106 pounds, Easton Krall, the freshman. At 113, ranked number 4 by the predicament, is sophomore Dawson Schmidt. And we'll take a brief pause for the national anthem. All right, we're back. Quick, let's go back through the lineup there. For Wapsie Valley, their starters at 106, freshman Easton Krall at 113, sophomore, ranked number 4 by the predicament, Dawson Schmidt. At 120 is sophomore Cole Snyder. At 126, sophomore Gavin Leistico. 132 will be Austin Hesse, a sophomore. At 138, senior Brady Benning. At 145 is senior Tylen Hirsch. At 152 will be freshman Jake Shore. At 160, Jordan Rubner, a senior. At 170, senior Sam Banger. 182, Derek Hilsenbeck, a freshman. At 195 is sophomore Keegan Brown. The Warriors are open at 220 and 285. I'd like to welcome you to my color commentator tonight, Johnny Kleitch. Welcome, Johnny.
Hey, good to be here, Blake.
A little first time on the broadcast for you.
This would be a first time on the broadcast. I'm fresh to the program here. I was coaching there for a while. Last year was my first year taking a break from that, but I recognize a lot of names on this lineup, being with them in practice, getting some time in with them, so be a good night watching them again.
All right, Johnny, since obviously you spent some time in the wrestling room, especially with some of these current coaches and wrestlers, what's it like coming into any duel, but especially this duel tonight where we're going to see Wapsie Valley and Denver face off?
The Wapsie-Denver rivalry is big here, but I would honestly have to say that everything I've experienced, the Denver-Wapsie wrestling rivalry is not quite as hyped as the rest, and I don't know if that is based on seeing them a lot more in, through the youth ages and outside the season that you don't compare to other sports, but still a rivalry. Just didn't seem quite like it is in the football, basketball world.
All right, folks, we will be starting off tonight, Wapsie Valley versus BCLUW South Hardin in our first duel. We will start the varsity duel off tonight. Looks like we will be having, one second, is
Sam Banger from Wapsie.
The Sam Banger for the Warriors against Caden McWilliams from BCLUW South Hardin.
Looks like we got a senior at Wapsie Valley with Banger and a freshman here from BCLUW, so hopefully we can get some experience in this match that comes on top. You know, Sam was one that I enjoyed wrestling in practice. He just went out there and threw a left-handed headlock. That right there is something that is very hard to feel, Blake. Not like a normal right-handed headlock.
Banger with that quick takedown is up 2-0, looking for some back points. Official currently holding 3 as Banger's working, trying to get those shoulders flat to the mat.
He just needs to adjust his weight back here a little bit, get a little more weight over top of his chest. He's a little extended, but he's got plenty of time on the clock here. We got a minute left on the clock. He's got a lot of time to adjust.
Don't know if you fans at home can see it, but we got the scoreboard up in the background to the top and a little to the right of the screen.
And there he gets the fall.
In 1 minute and 10 seconds, Sam Banger for the Warriors picks up the first points of the night. A pin as Wapsie Valley leads the South Hardin-BCLUW Storm 6-0 after match number 1. We head to 182 pounds, where Derek Hilsenbeck for Wapsie Valley will face off against Cade Pekarek for the Storm.
You know, I don't know if I've seen Hilsenbeck wrestle yet this year with everything going on. I haven't seen a whole lot of matches, but I do know he was a solid 8th grader last year, the few times I did see him around.
I believe Hilsenbeck, his first varsity action came just before the break against AP Grundy, or Appleton Parkersburg Grundy Center and AGWSR back on December 22nd. We are just into this first period as Pekarek, gets a takedown on Hilsenbeck and on top position on the edge of the mat.
Yep, Hilsenbeck just needs to block those hands on that cradle. This is going to be a pretty tight position here. Got a minute left on the clock. He just needs to keep moving, keep working on those hands. There you go, broke loose. He just needs to keep working that hand out there, keep stretching that hand out. Body will follow, but
a tough position here for Hilsenbeck as we approach 30 seconds to go in period number 1 at 182 pounds. And there's the slap of the mat. Cade Pekarek picks up the pinfall victory over Derek Hilsenbeck of Wapsie Valley, tying up the duel at 6-6 as we head to 195 pounds.
And we just had some people in the stands over here from BCLUW. We'll correct that, and it's Pekarek from BCLUW that just got the fall.
Sorry to any of you Storm fans listening from home. We'll try not to butcher these names, but no promises. We apologize in advance, though.
Looks like BCLUW just sent out Zach Bennett, and Wapsie chose to give the forfeit there and bump Keegan Brown up to 220 pounds to face Caden Stedding, a 9th grader.
So as the Warriors forfeit the 195 weight class, the Storm now lead 12-6 as we head to 220 pounds. Keegan Brown for Wapsie Valley will be taking on Caden Steeding of South Hardin-BCLUW.
There, Keegan's in a nice double leg, getting his 2 quickly out of the gate there in less than 10 seconds. And he's instantly on that bar arm.
Brown didn't waste any time there. Just about 7 seconds in, gets the takedown for 2 and is in control on the top position. We'll also tonight be having a few matches on mat number 2. We'll try to show those, or at least talk about those when possible.
Keegan did a good job there keeping his feet in. I don't know if the ref was stopping that because they got too close to some of the managers or what that was, but it seemed like he was still in bounce. But we will let that go, and we'll get a fresh restart here.
The signal back to the center. Brown on top and Steading on bottom. Have a warning on Steeding for the Storm as we pass 1 minute in this first period.
There's Keegan. He's working towards that half. That's what he had luck with when they went out of bounds there, but he's going to have to return the mat. There it goes.
Brown saves the escape chance from Steeding, who couldn't quite get control. And a quick mat return.
Good adjustment there by Keegan. Oh, right into a half.
Got a count. And a slap of the mat. In 1 minute and 40 seconds, Keegan Brown gets the pin over Caden Steeding of the Storm, tying this duel up 12-12 through 4 matches. And at the heavyweight class of 285, Aiden Farnsworth of the Storm will get a forfeit win as the Storm lead 18-12. We circle back around to the little guys, the 106-pounders. Easton Kroll for Wapsie Valley against Chance Cordes of South Hardin-BCLUW.
I'm not sure over here on the JV mat, Blake. I don't know who that is from Denver for sure, but we got Cannon Yeager wrestling over there. Currently down, or up, I should say, 2-0.
We will look into that one quick here, folks. As we get going at the 106, Crawl quick, grab the single leg, and a quick 2 in about 6 seconds.
You know, Easton's coming off having a pretty strong start to the season. I'm not sure on the record for sure. Like I said, I haven't seen a lot of this, but he seems to be adjusting to this high school wrestling fairly well.
Over there on mat number 2 is Cannon Yeager against Ethan Krabenhoft for Denver. We're back here on mat number 1.
We got Easton with a bar right there, and he gets a quick first period fall.
In just 37 seconds, the freshman Easton Kroll picks up the victory. Once again, tying the duel between the Warriors and Storm at 18-18. And we will have at 113 pounds, Brock Kleitch for Wapsie Valley will receive a forfeit. Looking like he'll set up a ranked matchup at 120, Johnny, as Dawson Schmidt, ranked number 4 at 113 pounds for Wapsie Valley. And if this is Carter Koltoff walking over the table, he is ranked number 3 at 113 pounds for the Storm. It is Koltoff, so we will have a ranked matchup coming up for you. At 120 pounds, both of these wrestlers ranked at 113. Dawson Schmidt, number 4 in Class 1A, and Carter Koltoff ranked number 3 at 113 pounds in Class 2A. Those rankings coming from the Predicament Wrestling.
That is one thing, Blake, I like about this conference, and I always have. You know, Wapsie's one of the smaller schools, but you get to see a really nice mix of 1A and 2A wrestlers. You know, there's some really good 2A schools. Recently, Denver was 2A, and they've moved down to 1A in the last few years, but it is nice to get into those ranked wrestlers in different classes and those teams in different classes to test yourself. Dawson doing a good job of defending those shots by Koltoff.
30 seconds gone by. Action going out of the circle. We will return back to the middle. Wrestlers at neutral position. In this 120-pound weight class, the Warriors currently leading the team duel over the Storm 24-18. As we said, on the mat right now is ranked number 4 at 113 pounds for the Warriors, Dawson Schmidt, against the Storms, Class 2A, ranked number 3 at 113, Carter Koltoff, doing battle at 120 pounds.
Dawson with a nice shot in there. Looks like they're going to go off the mat. You know, I don't know what time they're starting Upper Iowa, but Dawson's older brother, Donnie, alumni from Wapsie, he's wrestling varsity Upper Iowa tonight at home.
For any of you who want to pop over maybe in the breaks between duels here tonight, check that out. And I believe Wsy Valley's own, as you've heard him on the broadcast last time out, Justin Decker doing the color commentating for Upper Iowa Wrestling. Hopefully calling a Dawson Schmidt victory tonight.
Dawson did a really good job fighting that takedown off there. Just a half a step behind him when they went to the mat, but he's getting some pressure on Koltoff. He's not stopping here.
Koltoff's able to get the 2 and leads this match 2-0 as we are under 20 seconds left in period number 1. These guys met a few times last year, including at the conference tournament where Koltoff got the best of Schmidt. But Dawson would go on to place 4th as a freshman in Class 1A at the state tournament at 106 pounds. And that's going to end period number 1 with Carter Koltoff holding a 2-0 lead over Dawson Schmidt.
Dawson got the choice there and deferred. We have Koltoff choosing the down position. Over on the JV mat, real quick update. It looks like they had the score messed up somewhere in there, and Jaeger's down 10-0 at this point. Thought Dawson was going to let him go there, but Koltoff went back to the mat, so Dawson scurries back to it.
A quick checkup on that, yes, as Ethan Krabanov for Denver leads Cannon Jaeger on mat number 2, 12-0. In period number 3. And back here over on mat number 1. In period number 2, 30 seconds gone by. Dawson Schmidt holding top position down 2-0 against Carter Koltoff of South Hardin-BCLUW. Action went off the mat there. We return back to center with Schmidt in the top position.
Schmidt looking to dig in that bar arm with the wrist. If he can get that bar arm elbow deep, he's going to have very good control right here. Keeping that tight is the key.
Surpassing 1 minute to go in this second period. Koltoff holding a slim 2-0 lead over Dawson Schmidt.
Good movement by Schmidt there as they're nearing the edge of the mat to keep. Oh, and he's jumped around over the half. He sunk that deep.
The back points are counting.
Time here. He's got plenty of time, plenty of room. He's got 30 seconds left in this match. He just needs to make small adjustments here, Blake, and it looks like he is.
Schmidt trying to work the hips across, get some pressure down. 15 seconds to go in period number 2, and there's the 3 points awarded on the near fall for Dawson Schmidt. Schmidt now leading Kolthoff 3-2. Action going out of the circle. We will head back to the middle. 10 seconds to go in period number 2 with Dawson Schmidt leading Carter Kolthoff 3-2.
This is just a tough 10-second ride out here for Dawson. Just doesn't want to give up any points here at the end of the match. He's getting close. Oh, saved by the clock there.
And before Kolthoff can escape, the clock will hit 0, and we'll head to the third with Schmidt leading Kolthoff 3-2. And as we head to the third period, Dawson Schmidt will be taking bottom position.
That was a really quick stand-up.
And
right
a
there.
quick reversal.
Oh, he did just get the reversal. I thought he was going to get the escape and 2 there, but he stuck close enough to just get the 2 reversal.
Official actually holding up the wrong hand there, but the scorers over on the side caught that one. Schmidt, the quick reversal, and back to the center, leading 5-2, and a caution called on Kolthoff.
Schmidt getting really tough on top here right away. He's going to take the choice of not hanging out here in the third period, which is nice to see.
Never known a Schmidt to be the type to sit back, always wanted to press the action.
Dawson for sure. There were some times where his older brother Donnie got a little blocky, but
Kolthoff gets the escape there. They're back to neutral on their feet with Schmidt leading 5-3.
His brother Donnie had a good way of controlling the matches tight like that. It drove us coaches nuts, but he controlled those matches at all times.
A lot of scrambling out there, but nobody able to gain control. As Schmidt trying to work to free the leg. Under 1 minute to go in period number 3 here. At 120 pounds, Dawson Schmidt leading Carter Kolthoff 5-3. And the official will call a stalemate. We'll go back to center, stand it up, neutral.
You know, I think Schmidt there, he hit 2 of those inside trips I seen. Let's see if he gets to that third one here. Kolthoff might have it figured out by now, but Dawson looks to be pretty smooth at that. Goes for a duck down to his knees. He's over the top on the whizzer. He needs to keep his head high right here in this position. That the man at the high head, high hips is usually going to win this position here. Yep, right there. Working for limp arm out. And right there, if Dawson can show control, he should get the 2. They're still in a scramble here.
Still travel ground 3, 2, 1, and that's gonna do it. Dawson Schmidt will pick up the 5-3 win over Carter Kolthoff of South Hardin-BCLUW. A big win for Schmidt. The Warrior ranked number 4 at 113 in Class 1A defeats the Storms. Carter Kolthoff ranked number 3 at 113 in Class 2A. And Wapsie Valley now leads this duel 27-18. We head to 126 pounds. Cole Snyder for Wapsie Valley will be taking on the Storms' Lane Hartwig. Cole Snyder having some success this year, taking home second place at the Warriors home Chris Davis Invitational back the first Saturday in December and picking up a few victories throughout the season so far.
You know, almost all these Wapsie matches so far, it seems like the Warriors are first out of the gate, taking a shot, which is nice to see. You know, they're pushing the action.
And we have a stoppage in the action, a potentially dangerous situation. Go back to the center, 0-0 between Snyder and Hartwig.
Cole just needs to keep his hips up here, keep moving. He did a good job of getting to that leg.
1 minute to go in period number 1. 0-0 between Cole Snyder of Wapsie Valley and Lane Hartwig of the Storm, as Hartwig able to work around and get the 2 for the takedown. Snyder not wasting any time, gets the reversal, tying this match 2-2. And a quick escape from Hartwig, retaking the lead, 3-2.
Cole just needs to stick to that action here he came out at the beginning of the period with. Hartwig getting a nice deep shot there. Cole just trying to work the clock here. Keep Hartwig from that 2 points. The time will run out.
The final seconds tick away in period number 1. Our score at 126 pounds. Cole Snyder of Wapsie Valley down 2-3 to Lane Hartwig of South Hardin-BCLUW.
Looks like Hartwig's choice on that, and he elected to just go down instead of deferring to the second period or third period.
A quick pause here to get the headgear snap back up. Ready to begin this second period. Snyder in the top position after Hartwig choosing bottom to start the second. Hartwig trying to break free, but can't quite escape as Snyder holds onto the ankles and keeps the action going.
Cole got saved by the mat right there. I know he was wrestling the edge, but that's something right there that he needs to be able to wrestle through that action out of bounds and not just ride that edge of the mat.
Snyder returns Hartwig to the mat after a quick escape attempt.
Oh.
But a bad situation there for Snyder. Hartwig gets the reversal. Looking for back points here.
Yep.
And Hartwig gets the pin. In 2 minutes and 44 seconds, Lane Hartwig picks up the pin of Cole Snyder of Wapsie Valley. As we head to 132 pounds, Wapsie Valley leading this one by a slim margin, 27-24. And at 132, we will see Gavin Leistico for the Warriors take the mat. He will be facing off against Javon Darden of the Storm. I'd like to give a quick thanks and a shout out to Rock Valley Physical Therapy in Waverly for their athletic training services they provide to Wapsie Valley and to many others in the area. Go and see them in Denver or Waverly for any of your physical therapy needs. Darden quick out of the gate with a takedown of Leistico, pushing the action. Looking for back points early. He will get the 3, leading a quick 5-0, just 15 seconds into this match.
Yeah, I hope right there Gavin just got caught off guard. I don't think he just was not ready for that takedown when they started the clock. So hopefully with that reversal he can recover from that and take control of this match here. It looks like he's going to.
Leistico picking up some momentum on that takedown. Now down 2-5 to Javon Darden of the Storm.
You know, as a wrestler, sometimes it's tough to shake off those quick 5-0 momentum swings, but it looks like Lysico knows that he got caught off guard, so it looks as though he feels comfortable here, not rattled too much by it.
A quick 1 count there, but not enough to get any points started.
There you go. Good adjustment by Gavin here. He just needs to get that elbow up. There you go. We got 39 seconds. He's going to end up with that 3 count.
After a slow start to the match, Gavin Lystico for Wapsie Valley has tied it up against Javon Darden of South Hardin-BCLUW 5-5. 20 seconds to go here in period number 1 at 132 pounds. Darden able to get the escape, leading now 6-5. 10 seconds to go.
I'd really like Lystico here to show that he has. There you go with a nice takedown with 2 seconds left. That's what I was just saying. It'd be nice to see him get a quick takedown here to show
right
that
before the clock ticks away, and actually a little late on the signal from our towel boy without a towel, as Gavin Lystico leads this one 7-6 over Javon Darden as we head to period number 2 at 132 pounds. And the wrestlers will start neutral in this second period, as Lystico chose to defer and Darden chose neutral. And that paid off for Lystico with a quick takedown, leading now 9-6. Johnny, what's the thought of a wrestler there down 1 point as we go into the second and choosing neutral after a deferral?
I think Darden just was trying to roll off that first takedown he got to right to Lystico's back. It didn't seem like he had a whole lot of action aside from that when Lystico kind of took over. So right there, he's probably thinking that he's going to try to get back to that quick takedown that he had right away.
And a slap of the mat for Gavin Lystico. In 2 minutes and 46 seconds, the Warrior 132-pounder picks up the victory over Javon Darden of the Storm, as Wapsie Valley leads this one 33-24. We head to 138 pounds next. And trotting out onto the mat looks to be Brady Benning for Wapsie Valley.
Looks like Wapsie electing to bump through Austin Hesse in the lineup since they bumped up from that 113 weight. We got Benning out here getting ready to start 138, and it looks like Tylen Hirsch may be moving over to the other mat to start another match. We'll see here. Brady wasting no time, taking control of this match there too. Taking it right to the mat, right to a nice cradle.
Benning wrestling Walker Ashton of BCLUW South Hardin. The quick takedown and a quick pin in 19 seconds. Brady Benning with the pin of Walker Ashton of the Storm. Wapsie Valley now leading this duel 39-24. As we move to 145 pounds, Tylen Hirsch, the senior for the Warriors, coming up onto the mat.
Looks like we're going to be running 2 mats here, varsity-wise. We'll have Hirsch over at 145 on mat 1, if you want to call it that. And we're going to have Jake Shore come out here at 152.
As 145 starting over here, we'll move over to mat number 2. Some quick camera difficulties. We weren't set up for the 2 varsity match setup, but Tylen Hirsch will be on mat number 2 at 145 pounds. He will be taking on James Bricker of BCLUW South Hardin. And at 152, Jake Shore will be facing Logan Acher of the Storm. Hirsch over on mat number 1. Starts the action off quick with a takedown, 2-0. And Bricker picks up the escape, a 2-1, less than 15 seconds into the first period. Hirsch the quick takedown and pin in 17 seconds for the Warriors.
Hirsch going out there in the home meet, wasting no time to get that pin for the team.
We head back to mat number 1 as Jake Shore for the Warriors on the mat against Logan Acher of the Storm. Acher picked up a takedown leading 2-0 as we approach 1 minute to go in period number 1.
The 160.
Looks like we're really trying to speed things along tonight as Jordan Rubner for the Warriors will head over to mat number 2, and he will be taking on the Storm's Alex Paxson.
Looks like Shore needs to work the edge of the mat here. He needs to, and then he's going to get the pin there.
And Shore pinned by Logan Acher in 1 minute and 32 seconds. Team score now, Wapsie Valley 45, the Storm 30. Roll our way back over to mat number 2 as Rubner facing off against Alex Paxson.
Nice to see Rubner back out here in the wrestling room. I know when I was coaching yet, he was out as a freshman. I believe he took his sophomore. I'm not sure about last year. I don't know as though he was out here again last year.
He was not out last year.
It's nice to see him back in the room. Good athletic kid. Had success in some other sports. Hopefully he made the decision here as a senior to not sit home and waste that and get out here. And
Rubner's Warrior teammates sliding their way to the edge of the mat. And Rubner will get the pin in 1 minute 54 seconds over Alex Paxson of BCLUW South Hardin. Sorry, Storm fans out there, listed all different places, whether it's BCLUW first or South Hardin first. If I say BCLUW first, I'm sure I'll make those fans at that school happy. If I say South Hardin first, I'll make those fans happy. Either way, as long as I say both names, right?
Yes, and BCLUW South Hardin's been combined for quite some years now. I don't even know if I can remember when they weren't together.
And that will end our action for the night. A recap at 106, Easton Kroll, the pin over Chance Cordes in 37 seconds. At 113, Brock Kleitz for Wapsie Valley with a forfeit win. At 120 pounds, Dawson Schmidt, the Warriors ranked 113-pounder in Class 1A, number 4, over the Storms. Carter Koltoff ranked number 3 in 2A at 113 by a 5-3 decision. 126, Lane Hartwig for the Storm, pitting Cole Snyder for the Warriors in 245. At 132, Gavin Lystico picking it up a pin over Javon Darden in 247. At 138, Brady Benning for the Warriors, a pin of Walker Ashton in 19 seconds. At 145, Tylen Hirsch even faster, a pin in 18 seconds over James Bricker. At 115, Logan Acher pinned Jake Shore for the Warriors at 133. At 160, Jordan Rubner pinned Alex Paxson in 53 seconds. At 170 pounds, Sam Banger, a pin of Caden McWilliams in 1 minute 10 seconds. At 182, Cade Pekarik over Derek Hilsenbeck with a pin in 132. At 195, the Storms' Zach Bennett won by forfeit. At 220 pounds, the Warriors' Keegan Brown picked up a pin over Caden Steeding in 141. And at 285 heavyweight, Aiden Farnsworth picking up the forfeit win, all resulting in a Wapsie Valley 51-30 victory. Win number 9 on the season for the Warriors, moving to 9-3 and now 6-1 in conference. What did you think of that duel, Johnny?
It's nice to see. Wapsie's got a significantly young team. I mean, they got looks like 4 varsity or 4 seniors in the lineup tonight, with Morse being out at heavyweight. But it's nice to see those freshmen, sophomore guys come in there and step up. Not a lot of relaxation in these matches. They were right out after it. They were moving well. They were moving often, and that's what you like to see in a good wrestling match.
A slight break here as we get set for duel number 2 tonight, where the South Hardin-BCLUW Storm, or BCLUW South Hardin Storm, will be taking on the Denver Cyclones. Take a quick pause in the action, and we will be back for that duel between the Cyclones and Storm here at Wapsie Valley High School. All right, wrestling fans, we are back for duel number 2 between the South Hardin-BCLUW Storm and the Denver Cyclones, starting out at 182 pounds. Just a moment here as we get the track wrestling ready for you so we can get you all of the names of these wrestlers tonight. Out on the mat right now at 182 pounds, Cade Pekarik of the Storm against Brennan Graber of Denver. And Graber picks up the pin in 1 minute and 5 seconds over Pekarik. The Cyclones, a 6-0 lead after the first match. Next up at 195 pounds.
Looks like we're going to have a couple JV matches coming up over here, so we will try to keep you all updated on those scores and wrestlers as we can.
At 195, we'll have Zach Bennett of the Storm against Bo Bonnet of Denver, as you're seeing here on mat number 1.
This will be the first season here for the Cyclones head coach, Nate Score. It'll be a nice pickup for that program. Just a little bit that I know about him. He comes from as an assistant coach up there at Upper Iowa, and I believe he took the head coach job as well as something else over at Denver.
He is the athletic director for the Cyclones,
AD.
taking over as AD for now former Cyclone head wrestling coach. I'm blanking on his name. I know it too.
No, Krieger was there 2 years ago. I don't know who filled in last year. I know Coach Pickett stepped in and took over as the head coach for the Cyclones for that year. It looks as though he stepped down and Nate's in there.
1 minute passed in this first period at 195. Score 0-0 between the Storm's Zach Bennett and Bo Bonnet of Denver.
Looks like we got Isaac Schiedenhelm in the corner for Denver as well. Another Denver alum coming back and helping out that program. I know he's currently at UNI still.
If anyone's ever seen a wrestling duel where the Cyclones are in attendance, you'll surely seen they bring an army of coaches along with them.
They do. They do not shy on that.
Just tonight they have head coach Nate Scar, his assistants Jared Pickett, Isaac Schiedenhelm, Ryan Schmallen, and Rod Wolfensberger. And the coaches for the Storm, co-head coaches Mike Colson and Stacy Simpson, assistants Kobe Willett and Christian Miller. And, of course, the coaches tonight for the Wapsie Valley Warriors, Danny Adams, Brian Krall, and Wyatt Forsythe. And the clock ticks away in period number 1 as Zach Bennett was able to pick up a takedown there and a near fall, leading 5-0 over Bo Bonnet of Denver, headed to period number 2. Bonnet in the top position here after choosing the deferral, and Bennett choosing bottom position.
The quick escape there by Bennett. Get back to our feet. Hopefully we can get a little bit more action in here in that first period with all the action coming in the last 10 or 15 seconds of that period. But
and unfortunately, it happened all when we were looking away. And a reverse there.
Takedown there by.
Sorry, takedown. Missed the escape there. But a takedown for Beau Bonnet as he trails now 7-2 after the escape by Zach Bennett. A shot attempt going nowhere on that one for Bonnet as the wrestlers back scrap for position. Passing 1 minute to go in this second period at 195. Bennett in on a shot, trying to get his way around, and action is called out of the circle, and we will head back to center with Zach Bennett of the Storm leading Beau Bonnet of the Cyclones 7-2 with under 30 seconds to go in this second period at 195 pounds.
Looks like Beau's getting some good action here on his feet. He appears to be a lot more comfortable working from the neutral position than he does on the mat as he.
And Bonnet is able to get the 2 on the takedown. And period number 2 will end with Zach Bennett leading Beau Bonnet 7-4. And Bonnet will take the down position to start the third.
Here in the third period, I would say neither wrestler should be wasting clock here with Beau being down by 3. He needs to be moving here, working for points, and Bennett with only a 3-point lead doesn't really have that cushion to kind of stall around here and see what happens. He needs to create that action, try to build on that lead.
1 minute passes. And 1 to go in period number 3 with Zach Bennett of the Storm leading Beau Bonnet 7-4 at 195 pounds. Nothing going there as the wrestlers roll around. Bennett still holding the top position, keeping that head pressed of Bonnet firmly to the mat.
Going to make their way out of the cylinder there and come back with 12 seconds left in the third period. There's time there, but Beau needs to be getting up here, getting the escape and a takedown to tie this match up.
Not much time left here for Bonnet as Bennett breaks him down back to the mat. 8 seconds to go, period number 3. Bennett leading 7-4. And 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it. Your winner at 195 pounds, South Hardin-BCLUW Zach Bennett over Denver's Beau Bonnet, 7-4. The Storm now on the board in the team score with Denver leading 6-3.
220 BCLUW, South Hardin, Caden Stedding for Denver.
Up next at 220 pounds, Caden Stedding for the Storm against Cade Bonnet of Denver.
Blake, I'm not sure in relation here, but looks like there's 3 Bonnettes here on the lineup, but they're a couple sophomores and a junior.
30 seconds passed in period number 1 here. Still scoreless between Caden Stedding and Cade Bonnet. No one really able to get the head break down and take a shot here in this 2:20 match. Action going off the mat. We will bring it back to center. Still 0-0 with 44 seconds on the clock in this first period between Caden Stedding of the Storm and Cade Bonnet of the Cyclones.
Seem to be creating decent action. Neither wrestler here is committing. There's Cade committing to a shot there. Needs to keep his feet moving, working with his head up.
Stedding spinning around, and he will get the 2 at 12 seconds to go in the first period. Stedding taking the lead. That's going to end the first. Caden Stedding of the Storm with a slim 2-0 lead over Cade Bonnet of the Cyclones. Choice to Stedding, and he's going to go top position in the second.
There's a typical sequence in wrestling, Blake. Not every match, but quite typically. First guy with choice will defer. Next guy will go down. Third period, the other guy will go down. Not every match as we see here. Some wrestlers just feel, that down position, you're scoring points, and Stedding chose to go top here. Not sure if it's uncomfortable on the bottom or if he just feels like he's that much better on the top position, but going top with just a 2-point lead is something you don't see often, but every wrestler, every coach has their own game plan, so we'll see if this works out for him.
How often is it the case where it's the wrestler's decision versus coach's decision on that top, bottom, or defer? Or neutral.
The coaches got a good idea. They're not out there, so they don't feel it. Some matches, you might have a kid that's electric on the bottom, but that particular day your coaches are yelling down, and something might just feel off about it, or that day just might not feel the best for down, so they can go neutral or top. But quite typically
stalling warning against Bonnet of the Cyclones. 40 seconds to go in period number 2 between Caden Stedding and Cade Bonnet.
Typically the coaches and wrestlers on the same page, but you'll see it the other way around too, where a coach sees something and really wants him to do something, and the wrestler's just not feeling that. But at the end of the day, it's the guy on the mat that's making the decision, not the coach. So I'm sure there's been plenty of post-match talks about that decision.
I would imagine so. And this second period is going to go scoreless as Bo Bonnet is able to ride it out. And Caden Stedding of the Storm leading 2-0 headed to the third. Bonnet on top, starting period number 3 as Stedding holding a 2-0 lead.
He's getting to that half here. He's getting that weight moved out there. Nice settling in there. Yep.
A quick turn and a pin for Cade Bonnet of Denver over Caden Stedding of South Hardin-BCLUW. I think that's about the quickest action we saw in that match.
Yeah, the action definitely turned there.
That pin coming in 4 minutes and 16 seconds.
You got Aiden Farnsworth here for BCLUW at heavyweight. Makes the long trip in the way in for 2. Walks out to the center of the mat with his hand coming up.
And we'll go to 106. Chance Cordes for the Storm against Rhett Bonnet of the Cyclones, the 3rd Bonnet to take the mat tonight for Denver. As the Cyclones lead this duel by a score of 12-9 as we reach the lightweights. A quick start here as Bonnet's pushing the action. Is able to circle around and get the 2.
Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but here in a couple matches, hopefully it plays out that we get that number 3 and Carter Koltoff versus that number 4 and Joe Ebaugh. And Rhett, while we were talking there, comes out there at the quick 26-second fall.
Rhett Bonnet there, wasting no time with the pin at 106 pounds as the Cyclones now lead the Storm 18-9. Next up will be the 113-pounders. We'll see what matchup we get. Max Schwant for the Cyclones will get the forfeit win at 113, bumping the Cyclone score up to 24 to the Storm's 9 at 120 pounds. See if we get our ranked matchup here.
Saw Ebaugh up at the table there, and then he was called back by his coaches. It appears to be BCLUW's needs to send to the table first, the way it's looking. When they make that flip at the beginning of the match, Blake, that's just determining who has to send a wrestler out first on the odds or even matches. And actually, it looks like Denver has to go first, but there's some confusion there.
A little confusion, guys getting the right headgear and getting the right guys in position because they caught their teammates sleeping.
It looks like they're playing a little coaching game here.
A little cat and mouse between the Cyclones and Storm.
Yeah, with that forfeit. With that forfeit at 113, that's giving the Cyclones the ability to maybe move around and make that Koltoff-Ebaugh match come to life. We'll see here.
Definitely from a fans viewing perspective, hope that matchup happens, but we'll see how this plays out. We already saw one ranked matchup tonight in the first duel when the Warriors' Dawson Schmidt got the victory over the Storm's Carter Koltoff. We'll see if that takes place now. And the Cyclones will instead send out Cale Lyons at 120 pounds. And he's going to receive the forfeit win. 126 pounds up next.
And it does not look like Koltoff will be going out there.
Lane Hartwig for the Storm. He will be wrestling the Cyclones' ranked 120-pounder at number 4 in Class 1A, Joe Ebaugh. So we'll not get the ranked matchup, but we will see a ranked wrestler on the mat right here, Joe Ebaugh for the Cyclones against Lane Hartwig of the Storm. With the Cyclones leading the team duel 30-9 and the 126-pounders on the mat.
You know, Ebaugh is going to be one of those longer kids you see at 120 pounds. He has always been a long kid for that weight, and it is tough for opponents to defend that. hopefully with Koltoff not going out here in this duel, it does not. Hopefully that doesn't mean some sort of an injury at this point in the season. Hard to say, but hopefully that is not the case. Looks like Ebaugh just getting right to that cradle. Like I was talking with those long arms, that cradle is something that he's going to be going to a lot.
Yeah, long and lanky, but also very sound. Joe Ebaugh picking up the quick pin there for the Cyclones in 50 seconds over Lane Hartwig at 126 pounds. Now the Cyclones leading the team duel 39-6. As we head to 132, Josh Terrell will take the mat for Denver, and his opponent will be, for the Storm, Javon Darden.
Javon came out here with some fire right away in that first duel. Caught the Wapsie off guard, and it looks like he's coming out here at the same attack, getting right to that. Just a 4-point move this time, but
got the quick takedown too, and almost enough, but not quite for the 3 on the near fall, but he gets 2 out of it, now leading 4-0, back on the attack.
I will give him credit. He gets out there and he gets going right away. That's something good to see in a wrestler.
I don't think too many coaches are going to get mad when their wrestler pushes the initiative.
Oh, no. As long as it's a controlled initiative. You get some of them younger wrestlers that get out there and just start going and lose track of where they're at and get into some rough positions. But we got a senior out here. He's got some experience under his belt. He knows what he's doing.
And Terrell will get that escape for the Cyclones as Darden leads this match at 132 pounds, 4-1. 40 seconds to go in this first period. Wrestlers back on their feet. Neutral, 20 seconds to go in period number 1 with Javon Darden of South Hardin-BCLUW up 4-1 on Josh Terrell of Denver. And Terrell's able to spin around, get the 2 for the takedown. And the clock ticks away into the first. Javon Darden of the Storm leading 4-3 over Josh Terrell of the Cyclones. The choice going to Darden there. He will choose neutral to begin the second.
Terrell looked like he was going to get into that nice outside single, but kind of gave up on it. He gets back to it and gets the 2-point takedown.
Terrell now leading this one 5-4. 30 seconds into period number 2.
Yeah, Darden he just was kind of reaching back there for a bit and opened up that half that Terrell took advantage of here. See how this turns out, but it looks pretty tight, looks pretty sound. We got a whole minute left. Just some small adjustments need to be made by Terrell here of the Cyclones.
Darden trying to roll out of this here as he has the near fault points all but awarded yet for Terrell. And there's the slap of the mat. Josh Terrell wins this one with a pin of Javon Darden in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. The Cyclones now holding a big advantage in the team score, 42-9.
Looks like we're not going to see Brooks Meyer from Denver either at 132.
For Denver, Wsy Valley.
At 138, we'll see Isaac Schimmels for the Cyclones against Walker Ashton of the Storm. Isaac Schimmels ranked number 3 at this weight class in Class 1A. The third of the 3 ranked Cyclones we have mentioned here tonight. The other 2 being Joe Ebaugh, who we saw earlier, and Brooks Meyer, who we may see yet tonight, but still to be determined.
You know, I've been in and around watching Isaac wrestle here since he was probably a kindergarten, maybe earlier, and lack of attack is definitely not something you could have ever described this kid as in his wrestling style. He always gets out there. He goes, and it has been a good turnout for him. He has turned into quite the wrestler.
And Schimmels wasted no time there with a quick takedown and a pin in just 50 seconds over the Storm's Walker Ashton. And now a 29-point lead, excuse me, 48-9 for the Cyclones over the Storm. And at 145 pounds, we will see the Cyclones.
I believe that was Alex Krabinoff, yeah.
It is Krabinoff against the Storm's James Bricker.
Looks like Krabinoff's going to waste no time either on getting out there, getting that quick takedown to a fall.
A pin in just 21 seconds, upping the Cyclones team score to 54 to the Storm's 9. We will go next to 152 pounds.
The 152 for BCLUW.
For the Storms, Logan Eicher against the Cyclones, Ben Folsky.
Got to be looking for BCLUW to come on here in these last 3 matches. Try to post a couple more points on the board here, but
Definitely an interesting choice there. Not sending out their top wrestler, Carter Koltoff, against the Cyclones and trying to limit the Cyclones team score or possibly, if he's able to pick up a big win there, close the gap a little bit. And Krabinoff getting the 2 on the takedown, leading 2-0 as we approach 1 minute to go in this first period between Alex Krabinoff of Denver and James Bricker.
went to that tilt. He's just
correction. Ben Folsky on the mat. Ben Folsky with the 2-0 lead over Logan Eicher. And now leading 5-0. And we apologize to the Cyclone or the Storm fans out there if we call a kid by the wrong name or butcher a name.
like Folsky needs to just trap that near arm there on that butcher he's trying to run. Now he switches over. Looked like he was going for a cradle. Just wasn't feeling it. 13 seconds left on the clock here. Let's see if Folsky can score a couple back points. He's working towards them, and looks like he will pick up a 2-point near fall.
And that'll be the last of the action in the period as Folsky leading this one 7-0 over Logan Eicher of South Hardin-BCLUW, headed to the second period. Eicher on the top position, a quick lift, and back to the mat goes Folsky.
That was a good mat return by Logan right there. a good quality stiff mat return really takes some life out of that guy on the bottom, especially if he goes back to that stand-up and he gets returned one or two more times. It really limits what he wants to do. That time, Folsky was able to get the escape without that mat return I was talking about.
Folsky now within 8-0 lead, currently holding what, if it ends at this current score, a major decision for the Cyclones, as Folsky, like I said, up 8-0 over Logan Acher of the Storm.
Acher not really showing any signs of slowing down. He's still trying to put himself in this match.
Folsky picks up 2 more on the takedown and looks to turn Acher. Got the arm twisted over.
Another situation here. We got a lot of time on the clock, and there's Acher scrambling out of there. He'll give up the 3 near fall, but he'll get that 2-point reversal, keeping himself alive in this match here.
Acher not going down without a fight here. Breaks out from the near fall, gets the reversal. Now a 13-2 lead for Ben Folsky of the Cyclones over Logan Acher of the Storm.
That's one thing with wrestling, Blake. You can get down real big, real early, and all it takes is that split second, right place, the right time, right movement, and you can come out of there with a fall.
And the clock ticks to zeros in this second period, with Ben Folsky leading Logan Acher 14-2. And our wrestlers will head back to the center, starting the third, and on their feet, neutral.
I like to see Acher still sticking in there, taking the shots, being aggressive here. He knows he's down 12. He knows he's going to have to make something happen here. We'll see if he can take that action through this restart.
Wrestlers going out of the circle and we'll head back to the center. 1:43 to go in period number 3, with Folsky of the Cyclones leading Acher of the Storm 14-2.
Folsky leading 16-2 here. He's looking for team points. He's going to have to stick to something tight and solid to get that fall, because any back points here will lead to a tech fall. Team points aren't really an issue in this duel at this point, but if it were a tight match, you'd be hearing a lot of talk from the coaches, looking for something solid.
Definitely something the Cyclone older wrestlers should be used to, having wrestled in a number of regional duels and down at the state duels tournament, and a few of these wrestlers even at the state individual tournament, where 1 point could definitely make the difference.
Oh, for sure. And it's got to be different for these wrestlers out here this year with such a limited crowd. There's a lot of those wrestlers that they thrive on that noise and excitement coming from the stands. It doesn't seem to be affecting Denver here too much tonight.
And a takedown for 2, and Folsky will pick up the tech fall win, 18-3 in 5 minutes and 42 seconds for the Cyclones, upping their lead in the team score 59-9.
We got Cole Miller and Alex Paxton coming out here.
Cole Miller, I'm sorry.
Interesting family ties here for Cole Miller. His brother, actually, now graduated, was a basketball player, but the younger brother choosing to go the wrestling route.
Not something you see that often.
I think maybe a few of those brawls in the family living room had anything to do with that.
They could have, and I bet the play on the basketball court was probably just as interesting.
Cole Miller for the Cyclones out here at 160 pounds will be taking on Did you catch the name there, Johnny? I was waiting on track wrestling to load up.
We got Alex Paxson and Cole Miller.
Alex Paxson. And Cole Miller with the quick 2 driving Paxson to the mat, leading 2-0 in this 160-pound match. Miller looking to try and get a little shoulder lift there and roll Paxson over, but Paxson doing a good job fighting that off and trying to keep the action going as they near the edge of the mat.
Miller working for that cradle there. He has it. That seems to be pretty tight. This is going to be really hard for Paxson to get out of here.
And he will not get out of it as Cole Miller for Denver with a pin in 1 minute and 4 seconds over Alex Paxson of South Hardin-BCLUW. We go to 170 pounds next. We'll see the wrestlers that come out ready to battle.
BCLUW South Hardin, Caden McWilliams for Denver, Cooper South.
Caden McWilliams coming out for the Storm. And for Denver, did you catch that name, Johnny?
Yeah, they don't have it on our sheet here, but Cooper South from Denver. And Caden McWilliams from BCLUW.
South on the quick shot, but not able to finish it off.
He works around. He's got an opportunity. He had an opportunity there for a nice half coming around, but missed it. But
does work his way back on top for a quick 2-0 lead on the takedown.
He's getting right to that tight cradle as well. Ooh, he almost took it over a little too far, but regains position and gets the fall.
In 39 seconds, Cooper South for Denver, picking up the pin of Caden McWilliams of the Storm. And I believe that will end the action here between the Cyclones and Storm as Denver picks up a 71-9 victory. A recap of the action. Early on tonight, we had some matches going on mat number 2 that saw Jackson Sanderson of Denver pinning Sam Garber of the Storm in 119. And Gage Wooldrick of Denver, a pin also of the same Sam Graber in 116. And Orlando Montoya of the Storm over Morgan Smith from Denver in 503. And in the varsity action, Rhett Bonnet, a pin in 27 seconds over Chance Cordes of the Storm at 113. Max Schwann of Denver, a winner by forfeit at 120. Cale Lyons of Denver also winning by forfeit. 126, the Cyclones ranked wrestler at 120 pounds. Joe Ebaugh picking up a pin of Lane Hartwig in 50 seconds. At 132, Josh Terrell of Denver, a pin in 3:22 over the Storm's Javon Darden. At 138, ranked number 3, Isaac Schimmels, wasting no time with a pin in 50 seconds of Walker Ashton. 145, Alex Krabanoft, a pin of James Bricker of the Storm in 22 seconds. 152, Ben Folsky, a drawn out to 22 seconds to go. A tech fall 18-3 victory over Logan Acher. At 160 pounds, Cole Miller, a pin of Alex Paxson of the Storm in 104. And ending the varsity duel there at 170 pounds, Cooper South of Denver, a pin of Caden McWilliams of BCLUW South Hardin, where the Cyclones won 71-9. All right, Johnny, we have one duel remaining here tonight where Wapsie Valley will be taking on Denver. What match are you looking forward to there, and what keys will be for Wapsie Valley if they want to pull off a victory in this one.
You know, Blake, looking down here at the lower weights, you know, Wapsie has that ability to move Dawson up to 120 again if they want to put that show with Dawson Schmidt, number 4, and Joe Ebo, number 4, at 120. Something I would like to see. You know, this early in the or at this point in the year, you want to try to see what you got going out there, and you know, go out there and put a hard-fought match out there with one of the top-ranked 120-pounders in the state. You know, lose close, win, however it may turn out, it's got to be a boost. Other than that, moving through, Denver is for the most part, they are an experienced upper-class starting team. Wapsie coming in here with just a few seniors. The rest sophomore and freshmen. So we'll see how that works. You know, they both have 285 open, 195 and 220. You can see some wrestlers moving around there. But this is could come down to a coin flip on who has to send first and how the rosters fall out here.
Be some interesting matches, hopefully, and could be a very tight duel. As coming up next, the Wapsie Valley Warriors will face off against the Denver Cyclones in the third and final duel of the night. Stick around and we will be back. Thank you all for tuning in.
Coach Wyatt wants to give a shout out to Graham Carey.
Sounds good. I changed, I don't know if I saved it. I changed the resolution to, or the frame to 1280, 720. You get a little larger.
Oh, I didn't look at when you changed that right away, or?
I changed it actually before we got going. So, I mean, it looks like maybe it's filling up the thing a little better, maybe not. We'll like what we gotta do to actually like fill the YouTube.
Yeah. Your audio's still live.
right, welcome back, everyone, into Wapsie Valley High School in tonight's wrestling triangular that featured the Wapsie Valley Warriors hosting the Denver Cyclones and the South Hardin-BCLUW Storm. In the first duel of the night, Wapsie Valley picked up a somewhat big victory over the Storm, 51-30, and in the second duel of the night, the Cyclones picked up a large victory over the Storm, 71-9. And now we will see Wapsie Valley and Denver battle it out on the mat. We will start at 195 pounds. But before we do, we've got a shout out to make.
We had a request up here from Coach Forsythe to give a shout out to Grandma Karen and Grandpa Dwayne watching from home. Maybe if he gets in the corner, we can pan that camera over and see some action from the sidelines there.
Coach Forsythe down in the corner there. His back turned to us. Of course, he doesn't want to wave to the camera, but he says hi to, Grandma Karen and Grandpa Dwayne. Hi to you two out there and anyone else watching from home tonight as we get set for Wapsie Valley versus Denver.
You know, bringing that up, Blake, you just mentioned we saw some updates on the governor here, and it sounds like she's lifted fan restrictions and leaving it up to school districts to decide what kind of fan entry there will be. I'm sure you'll see some of the schools be cautious yet, but hopefully that's good for high school sports fans. We can maybe get gyms packed back up again.
Hopefully anything get back to normal here. And we start off the night at 195 pounds, where Wapsie Valley will be taking on the Cyclones. At 195, the Cyclones receive a forfeit. At 220, Keegan Brown for the Warriors with the forfeit win. 2 matches, we'll call them matches. None wrestled, but we're through 2 of them and tied 6-6. The Cyclones will receive a forfeit at 285. 106. Here we go.
That was a quick little jump of points there. Denver had to send out at 195 first. It looked like they left it out there, or sent somebody out. Wapsie decided to move Keegan Brown.
And we're not going to wrestle at 106 either, as Easton Crawl takes the forfeit. So we are 4 matches technically into this one, and we are tied 12-12 without a whistle being blown, a slap in the mat, any points awarded in action.
It looks like at 113, Denver will be sending out Rhett Bonet, and Dawson Schmidt's just going to stay out there at 113 and wrestle his weight class tonight.
We'll see how this one goes for the Warriors ranked 113-pounder Dawson Schmidt, number 4 in the Predicament Wrestling rankings.
Nice double leg by Dawson there.
A quick 2 for Schmidt. Action going out of bounds. 15 seconds into the match.
You always like to see a double leg start in the center of the mat and end on the edge of the mat. That meant there was a lot of power going through them legs.
Recap, throwing some names into those forfeited matches. 195, it was Brennan Graber with the forfeit win for Denver. 220, Keegan Brown, the forfeit win for the Warriors. 285, Cade Bonnet gets the forfeit for the Cyclones. 106, Easton Kroll, forfeit win for Wapsie Valley. And now on the mat, Dawson Schmidt for Wapsie Valley against Rhett Bonnet of Denver.
Check on that. Looks like we're getting a few JV matches in here as well. Looks like we got Tucker Ladderberg for Wapsie.
He will be wrestling Ethan Krabanoff of Denver.
Dawson looks like he just wants to stick to his feet on this match, getting those 2 takedowns and giving the 2 escapes right away on the whistle.
Ladderberg over here on mat number 2, pushing the action, trying to get a shot in. No score yet, and he does get 2 leading 2-0, 30 seconds in against Ethan Krabenoff of Denver.
Dawson again with another quick takedown and cut for the escape. But I doing a good job of stopping that action, but
Back over on mat number 2, Krabenoff gets the reversal, tying the match against Tucker Latterberg 2-2. Just over a minute to go in that one. And that's a JV match at 160 pounds. On mat number 1, Dawson Schmidt, he's running up the score a little bit in this one. Now up 10-4 on Rhett Bonnet for the Cyclones.
we'll roll through there. Goes to dig in, something a little bit more solid. He's got to know we got short time. He's looking for an easy tilt for some points.
Latterberg on the other mat got an escape and a takedown for 2. Under 30 seconds to go. Latterberg leads 5-2 over Krabenoff. And here on mat number 1, Dawson Schmidt, 1 second to go in the first period, leads 10-4 over Rhett Bonnet. And that one will end the first. Bonnet's going to defer the choice. Schmidt choosing neutral, hoping to get some points here on the takedown.
He's feeling pretty comfortable on his feet right now. He had a really good first match on his feet. He carried that right over in this match. Nice smooth duck under. There's no contact made there from the duck to the score.
Quick 2 up, 12-4. Schmidt gives him the escape. 12-5 and a quick 2 again for Schmidt, up 14-5. Mat number 2, end of the first. Tucker Latterberg leading Ethan Krabenoff 5-2 in that JV 160-pound match.
Sticking with the program, Dawson cuts him on the whistle, before the whistle, gives him his 1. Gets the quick 2 on him again, 16-6. Be interesting to see if he just keeps the takedowns rolling through for that tech fall, or if at some point here he starts looking for something tight, secure them team points. And it looks like it almost was right there.
I think Schmidt just kind of fell into a takedown on that one. Up 18-7 now is Dawson Schmidt with 1 minute to go in the second period. Trying to work Bonnet over and get some back points and hopefully a pin here.
You know, if I'm Schmidt, he looks like he's looking for something solid here. You know, you don't want to wait till them last 2 points, just because if you got something that doesn't work out, you only get back points. It doesn't cut the match short, but he knows what he's doing out there. He secures that fall.
In 2 minutes and 18 seconds, a winner by pinfall, Dawson Schmidt over Rhett Bonnet of Denver. We'll spin over here to mat number 2 as Tucker Latterberg leads Ethan Krabenoff 5-2 in the JV 160-pound match.
Out here at 1 Tony, we got Cole Snyder, Wapsie Valley, taking on the number 4 ranked Joe Ebaugh of Denver.
Definitely a big test here for Snyder. See how he can do against definitely seasoned wrestler in Ebaugh.
Ebaugh takes that early chance at that headlock. He gets in there. This is a bad spot for Snyder to be in. You know, 1:45 on the clock. Ebaugh loosens off here. Looks like he wants to work for something else.
Mat number 2. At the end of the second, Tucker Latterberg leading 5-2 over Ethan Krabenoff. Spinning back over here, show you what's going on mat number 1 between Snyder and Ebaugh.
There's Ebaugh getting to that length I was talking about his last match and getting to that cradle.
And Ebaugh gets the pin in just 42 seconds. There for the Cyclones, tying the team score up 18-18.
The Warriors really need we really need Gavin Lice to come out here with that fire he had that first round and put some points on the board and get that momentum swinging back Wapsie's way. I know it's been back and forth, but coming through here in these middleweights. The Cyclones are pretty tough, so Wapsie's going to look for some momentum going into those here.
Showing you back here, Latterberg and Krabenoft on mat number 2 as they approach 1 minute to go in the third, with Latterberg leading 5-2.
Lysico with a nice outside single, getting that 2 points, right back to it. He's got to lift that leg high, control it. Tried going to a standing cradle there to get that pin, but he's not going to get the 2. That's all right, though. He's working pretty hard on those feet. Do not think it's going to take him long to get to that shot again.
40 seconds to go in that match between Latterberg and Krabenoft on your screen. As soon as this one ends here, we'll swing back over to the right on mat 1 between Lysico and Terrell.
Got a nice little scramble going on over here at Lysico. He's trying to utilize his length. He's got that. Oh, and he just gave that 2 points up. Minute left in that first period. Lysico down 2-3.
And that'll end that JV match as Latterberg picks up the 5-2 win over Ethan Krabenoff. Back directing your attention here to mat number 1 as Gavin Lysico wrestling Josh Terrell of the Cyclones. And Terrell holding a 3-2 lead in this 126-pound match.
Lysico needs to get some movement going here on the bottom. He came out here with all that fire on his, and there he goes with a nice switch to that back pocket. Getting the easy reversal right to a cradle. Oh, he almost had the cradle.
Lysico back on top here, 4-3, 5 seconds to go in period number 1.
A lot of movement here at the end. Oh, and he gives up the escape with 1 second left.
Right before the whistle. Terrell gets the escape and ties the match up 4-4.
Going back down. Hopefully we can get a little more of that action a little earlier here in this period. There we go, right to that switch. Just about as smooth as the first one, but
a quick reversal for Lysico. Back up 6-4 over Josh Terrell. Took these guys a little bit to warm up, but now they're ready to go and flying all over the mat.
Lysico trying to switch that half to the other side. Didn't get that hand out of there just quick enough, and he's going to get that penalty point for a full Nelson. It was really close. He was pulling that hand out as he was putting the other one in, but it was right to a bar arm. He's got that bar in her wrist. He's working that really deep. He just needs to keep his feet moving there. Keep that pressure rolling forward.
40 seconds into this second period, Gavin Lysico holding a slim 6-5 lead over Josh Terrell of Denver, and this 126-pound match.
JV side looks like we have Brock Kleitch and Kale Lyons, both freshmen. Lysico gives up that 2.
A reversal there gives Terrell the 7-6 lead. Under a minute to go in period number 2.
.25 seconds left here in the match with Lysico. It'd be nice to see him shake him off. There he goes for that switch again. I was just going to say shake him off that hip and hit that switch again. He got it right after it. That'd be his third switch of this match here in the second half, or 2 periods in.
15 seconds to go, and Lysico back up 8-7. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
No, he
won't
held
get
on.
the escape there. Lesko able to hold on just long enough to Terrell and keeps his 8-7 lead as we head to the third. A tightly contested match here. Lesko on the top position in this third period.
If I was Lesko here, I would have really been thinking there about just releasing him and going to our feet. He's gotten himself into a little bit of trouble on top there a couple periods. Couple pretty smooth takedowns, but he's proven me wrong. He's almost got some points out of there. A little roll through, nothing awarded. He needs to get some forward pressure on that. Really dig that in deep.
Back over on the JV side. Kleitsch is able to pick up the pin in 42 seconds for the Warriors. And escape there, back on the varsity match for Terrell. Tied up 8-8. Gavin Lesko, Josh Terrell. 1 minute to go in this 126-pound match.
Yep, there's that outside single that's been working so well for him. I was hoping he'd get to that sooner than later, and he did. And
2 quick ones.
like I was saying just a bit ago, he might be going to a little bit of a – he tried cutting him there. Terrell didn't follow the plan and kind of re-attack, so he had to get back to the top here. See how this works out. He's got his hips broken down real well. 30 seconds left. You know, Lesko just needs to keep heavy pressure there. They're going to stop for a potentially dangerous or that shoulder. 30 seconds left here. Right here going through Lesko's mind, it's got to be 1, not 2. You know, you hear the coaches yelling a lot. You know, he wants to, if we get into a sticky situation, he wants to give that 1-point escape rather than the 2-point reversal. He's riding a little high, and he gets that cradle. Oh, he just needed to suck that in a little tighter. You got 15 seconds here. He needs to hold on. If it gets sticky, he just needs to let go of that bailout and give up that 2 without any back points, but he's got the length in the legs right now.
1. That'll end the match. Gavin Lesko holds on for the 10-8 victory over Josh Terrell of the Cyclones. Wapsie Valley now back leading the team race 21-18 over Denver.
Yeah, that was a good match wrestled by Lesko. If you weren't keeping score in your head while you're watching it, you wouldn't have expected that score to be 10-8. It was seemed to be a pretty controlled match there by Lesko. He just gave up a few points there that really shouldn't have been given up, but we'll move on here to 132.
We'll see Austin Hesse out on the map for the first time, the varsity map for the first time tonight for Wapsie Valley. He is wrestling Evan Dorn of Denver at 132 pounds.
Couple underclassmen here again wrestling. Dorn's going to get out the early takedown. Getting right to those legs. Hesse needs to get reached in there, get that leg pulled out.
Hesse was able to get back up to his feet, but a mat return. And same thing again. And action out of bounds. Bring it back to the center. With Evan Dorn up 2-0 on Austin Hesse.
Right here is where Austin needs to try to pull some of that fire that Lesko had and get a reversal here in under 5 seconds. He's almost there. Got that leg. He's using the lift and drive here. A little mat return. He's got his 2. There you go.
And 2 there to tie it up for Austin Hesse.
Right into a tilt. Got a little wild on him for a second. He just needs to relax here. There
he's getting a count. Got 2.
There you go. Tighten that up a little bit. Tilts usually aren't the tightest of moves. It's really got to run him right, but he'll get his 2-point near fall out of that.
With the 2 points, Hesse now leading 4-2 over Evan Dorn as we approach 30 seconds to go in this first period.
Looks like he kind of got caught off guard there at the beginning of the match too, and realizes that he can control this match, and that's what he's deciding to do. Quick 2-point near fall again. Going for a little fire there and a roll. He needs it.
He's going to get his 3 here if he can't hold on. And he gets the 3 on the near fall. Now a 9-2 lead for Austin Hesse.
Oh, and he gave up that late 2 points there. It would have been nice coming out of this period up 9-2, but we'll take the 9-4 lead.
End of the second, you heard it there, 9-4, Austin Hesse lead. Correction, end of the first there, Austin Hesse with a 9-4 lead over Evan Dorn of Denver. And we will go neutral to start the second.
There you go, Hesse with the shot there. Wasn't the best of them, but action. He's controlling that elbow well. Gets that, almost gets that double leg. Ends up with a single there on the edge of the mat. See what he can do with the room there. Readjust into a head. Oh, wow. I would not have guessed that coming.
A quick grab of the head, drug him down to the mat, and 2 on the board for Hesse, up 11-4. Looking for back points.
He should
Trying
be
to
getting
press the shoulders.
Should be getting a fall out of this. Again, we got minute 17. There he goes.
A pin it is for Austin Hesse.
You know, Wapsie was ahead in the duel, but that is something that the Warriors needed right there. A big win at 132. Hopefully Benning can feed off of that and come in here and wrestle that number 4 ranked,
3
ranked Isaac Schimmels of Denver.
Interesting matchup there. Quick, the time on that pin for Austin Hesse of Devin Dorn was in 2:46 with Wapsie Valley up 9 points here, 27-18 in the team race. On the mat now is Brady Benning for Wapsie Valley against the Cyclones, ranked number 3, Isaac Schimmels. And Schimmels with the quick takedown for 2, controlling the top position. Just under 30 seconds passed here in this first period.
Kind of hard to watch, Blake. You know, the Schimmels, they live there, right there in Klinger. Just the way things turned out as far as, I think, daycare, school situations when he was young is what took him to Denver, and he stayed there. It's hard to drive by that house. Seeing a wrestler like that living in the Klinger.
And a successful wrestler that he's been so far, and he gets the pin of Brady Benning there. And the Warriors team lead cut down to 3 points, 27-24. Wapsie Valley leads Denver. Schimmels with the pin in 1 minute and 1 second of Brady Benning. We go to 145 pounds, where the Warriors' Tylen Hirsch takes on Alex Krabanoff of Denver.
Don't expect Hirsch to let off the gas pedal on this match. He seems like this season has been getting right to it, right after it. Early in his career, he'd like to hang around, see how matches turned out there in the end of the third period, but seems like he's turned ways and has been getting right after it here this year.
Definitely at the 145 weight class, there's some beasts out there to wrestle.
There is.
.30 seconds passing this first period. We are still scoreless as Tylen Hirsch wrestling Alex Krabanoff.
Both wrestlers just kind of feeling each other out here a little bit. Krabanoff with that single. Hirsch trying what he can do to keep that tight. Maybe work for a stalemate, but The referee will go stalemate there. I think that's what Hirsch is looking for. He's in a little bit of trouble, and he's just looking to get out of there. And we got the Denver coach over here conferencing with the official. He thought maybe there was a illegal hold there. If there
See how
was.
this one turns out as the Cyclones coach Nate Scar talks to the official over that situation.
It's actually Pickett over there. You know,
Pickett, my bad.
there's nothing. You're not gonna get anything out of that. He's just over there, you know. Well, I'll say conferencing with that official, letting him know what he thought he saw, and maybe, you know, to look forward a little closer next time. But just a polite way of telling him he thought he was wrong.
As polite as a wrestler, former wrestler, I'm sure, and now coach can.
Yep. And actually, Pickett, I think he came to Denver is either 3 or 4 years ago, and he came from Emmitsburg. He was on the coaching staff up there in Emmitsburg. You know, for a long time. They've kind of fallen off here lately, but for a long time they were a powerhouse Iowa wrestling team up there. Kind of back to that first situation.
Just
Krabbenhoff
5
gets
seconds
into
to
that
go in
single
the first
leg,
here.
and Hirsch is just holding on, hoping that first period ends up, and they're going to go scoreless in the first period.
Into the first, 0-0 between Hirsch and Alex Krabbenhoff.
Hirsch is going to defer. Krabbenhoff is going to go down. You know, if they get back to their feet, I'd like to see Hirsch getting a little bit more action on their feet. He's kind of letting Folsky be the aggressor there, but
Krabbenhoff, but
or
yes.
Krabbenhoff, sorry, getting ahead of myself.
We've both been bad at names tonight.
We'll see Folsky here coming up next at 152, but Hirsch really needs to get something going on right here. He's right on the edge of that stall call. He's been on that leg for a while. You get
Trying to live. Back down to the mat he goes.
gets right to that cradle. See if he's get it locked up. Oh, he lets that head pop loose. See what happens from here. It's going to turn into a scramble situation maybe. He's got to work.
Holding onto that ankle.
He's just
trying
got
to
to work
keep
his
the
way
escape.
up, or he's going to get hit for stalling. He does just in time, I believe.
Back to the mat he goes. And out of bounds. Still scoreless. 1:14 to go in period number 2 at 145 pounds. Tyler Hirsch for the Warriors against Alex Krabbenhoff of Denver.
Hirsch really needs to be the aggressor here. Break Krabbenhoff down to his base. Get working on some offense here and keep him on his toes. Don't let him create action.
1 minute to go in period number 2 here.
Going for a little bit of a cheap tilt. Keeps working at it. He's not going to get any back points out of that. He's got that 2-on-1 wrist ride right now.
Got a quick 1 count out of that one, but not enough to merit any near fall points.
Working for that cradle again.
Hirsch has to be careful here. He's gotten a little high a couple times.
Yeah, this time he snuck that leg in. That's going to help him out a little bit. Keeps that leg trapped. Going for a really stiff crossface there. Trying to work. He's still looking for that cradle. He's still looking for that cradle. Oh, he's getting a little relaxed here as time goes on at the end of this period. It'd be nice to see to come out of this scoreless.
Going
Or
back down to
points.
the
Here
mat.
he goes. He's going to. No.
No, only gets a 1 count out of it. No points. Back down to the mat we go.
Good job by Hirsch, you know, using that ability to scramble a little bit, keeping
That'll
that
end.
period scoreless.
Ends the second. We go to the third.
See if we can get
The
here.
Hirsch deciding to go bottom here
See
in
if,
a
we,
0-0 score.
see if we can get a quick 5-second escape. He goes to it. Needs to keep his head up, same as that last period. He needs to be the aggressor here and not let Krabbenhoff control what he wants. He needs to get his head up and his hands moving. This match might turn into who has the most left in their gas tank in the last 20 seconds of the match.
Krabnoff going for the turn there, trying to get Hirsch onto his back. Hirsch trying to get a hold of that left leg there of Krabnoff. Keep his chest down.
Get his head up. Oh, misses a little opportunity there. He get his head up and get moving on that transition.
Fights it off once. 1 minute to go in this 145-pound match. 0-0 our score between Tyler Hirsch and Alex Krabnoff.
Oh, and
He's trapped. And there's the pin.
I think Hirsch felt that pressure going right there, and I don't know if he thought he was too far past, but he just decided to take that momentum and try to roll through it, and it did not work out the way he thought that would.
And that one goes against the Warriors there as Alex Krabnoff ends up with a pin of Tyler Hirsch in 5 minutes and 15 seconds. We go to 152 pounds now, where Jake Shore for the Warriors will be wrestling Cole Miller of Denver. And after that 145 match, the Cyclones up on top. The Warriors now in the team score 32-27.
We got a senior and a freshman matchup here. And I think that right there in that position showed that a little bit. Shore, you know, I think he wants to make something happen in this duel. I think he kind of went for it there. Wasn't quite where he was wanting to go, but
Shore definitely tall and long for a freshman.
and seeing him, I don't know for sure, but it looked like he might have quit growing. I don't know. He's been shooting straight up the last 2 or 3 years. Amazing how much taller he gets every time you see him in a singlet. Shore with a nice switch action here. See if he can finish it, and there he does.
He gets around, gets the 2 on the reversal, tying it up 2-2. Got the single leg, goes for the sweep.
Needs to try to get his head to the side here. And, you know, best case scenario here is just drive him straight out of bounds, get a fresh restart. They're going to give Felski the 2-point reversal. Got a cradle locked up. Shore needs to break those hands, break that lock. Needs to realize where he's at on the mat here, try to get out of that cylinder.
Cole Miller up 4-2 here on Jake Shore in this 152-pound match.
Oh, they got Miller in there.
He'll go out of the circle there and go back to center. With Cole Miller up 4-2 on Jake Shore, 37 seconds on the clock in this first period. Miller breaking Shore back down there.
Needs to work up and peel that cross hand off. There, he's working at it now. Miller right back to it. Looking for a butcher.
Miller grabbing that left arm there of Shore, trying to turn him over as a count going. Shore trying to hold out to the end of the period. He will just barely, only 2 points awarded on the near fall there. Just 2 instead of 3 as Cole Miller leads 6-2 over Jake Shore at the end of the first in this 152-pound bout.
And there's that situation like you were talking right there. You know, Miller deferred. Shore looks over at his coach's signal and he wants to go neutral. Coaches look at him and, you know, they kind of give him that nod of, I guess you know what you're doing out there. We'll let you go with what you're feeling.
Shore on the attack there, wasn't quite able to get anything out of it, but an aggressive move from the freshman. And Shore gives up the 2 there to Cole Miller, now up 8-2 in this one.
You know, Shore's always one of those kids. You're gonna get everything he's got in these matches. He's not usually one to leave anything out there. May not always be on the winning side, but you know, and I'm sure after that match, on that piece of paper the coaches have in their hands at tomorrow's practice, you know, they're gonna look at working head up on the shot. Those couple shots he took, his head was kind of down. You know, just little things like that turns that match right around.
Unfortunately, those little things didn't go Shore's way as he was pinned by Cole Miller there in 2 minutes and 48 seconds. We move on to the 160-pound match. The Warriors senior Jordan Rubner out on the mat. He will be facing, let's see who he's
Finally,
facing.
we get Felsky out there.
Ben Volsky out on the mat for the Cyclones versus the Warriors, Jordan Rubner.
I've been saying it enough. Finally going to get him out there.
Like Beetlejuice, you say his name enough times, it finally appears, right?
Yeah. You know, that's nice, you know, on teams that make long runs in the postseason, things like that. You know, it's kind of nice when they've got a handful of kids at a couple of those weights that they can always, you know, move around, put strong suits out there and kind of make some of those decisions. You know, Wapsie running through here in the middle, they've only got 2 JV kids from 138 all the way up. So, you know, it limits those options, but makes you wrestle heads up and go out there and put what we got out there.
Hopefully some that's building down at the youth level. The numbers are growing from what I've heard. So hopefully here in a few years we'll see those numbers up in the high school level.
You know, they're not quite as big as some, but, you know, looking at the sheet here, we got 6 freshmen in the lineup.
They're on the mat there.
Eight
Folsky was able to get a hard takedown of Rubner, leading this one 2-0. 32 seconds to go in period number 1.
We got 6 freshmen in the lineup, 8 sophomores. I want to say there's more than 6 or 8 8th graders wrestling right now. We had a junior high meet right before this varsity duel. That's why we got started just a little bit late. But, yes, numbers are starting to come up and stay steady. And, you know, we should be pushing that 6 to 10 wrestlers into high school every year, which is good.
The final seconds will tick away in period number 1 with Ben Volsky leading Jordan Rubner 2-0 at 160 pounds. Rubner with the choice in the second, defers, and Volsky will take the bottom position. Volsky trying to pop up there quick, but Rubner getting him back down to the mat.
Rubner's going to be looking for something big here on top. Gets caught up in a little bit of a roll. You know, he's only down 2-0. He doesn't have to go for anything big right here. You just got to keep picking away, gaining that momentum there. Oh, we almost had the nice pancake there. And they'll go out of bounds.
Rubner getting a little assertive there, a little aggressive, and hopefully he continues that as they head back to the center here. 1:28 on the clock in this second period of 160-pound match. And Rubner will give up the escape to Volsky, a 3-0 lead for the Cyclone.
Rubner's got to win this match right here to keep the Warriors in the hunt for the duel.
Wapsie Valley down 9 currently, 36-27. As we say that, Volsky, the takedown, up 5-0 now on Jordan Rubner. 1 minute to go in the second. A stall warning being called against Rubner.
That's a tough position to be in. You know, he's on the edge of the mat. Polsky's working some stuff on top, but I think what did it was just the forehead on the mat.
Polsky's going to cut Rubner there, give the point in the escape. 5-1 now, a lead for Polsky over Rubner. Rubner attempting a shot there, gets the leg, isn't able to quite hold on.
He's got that. He's got 14 seconds there. Needs to get tough here and finish that for 2. Polsky's just going to be a little too much for him there, though.
And he's given the 2, 5 seconds to go. And that'll end period number 2. Ben Polsky of the Cyclones, a 7-1 lead over Jordan Rubner. Going to the 3rd period. A quick 2 there for Polsky, upping his lead to 9-1. We're just going to have to battle back here, avoid giving up any bonus points to the team score, and hopefully get some points and put himself in a position, put Polsky on his back.
You know, like I said earlier, if there's time on the clock, there's time to win in wrestling. It can happen so fast. Speaking of time, we got 1:20 left on the clock in the 3rd period.
Wrestling, unlike any other sport, big lead, and doesn't matter what the time is. If you miss a move or make the wrong choice,
you know, and that's what can catch some of them guys off guard. You know, they get a big lead, and then you see that they let off the gas pedal a little bit and kind of start coasting, and you know, and that's when opportunities open up, like in this match for Rubner. You know, Felsky's not showing that yet with 55 seconds, but, you know, if Rubner starts creating some action here.
Rubner called for a stall warning again there. 2nd time, he gives up the 1 point to Polsky, who now leads 10-1. 40 seconds to go in this 160-pound match.
You know, the major decisions already been given up. You know, small win here for Rubner would just be trying to get a couple points here and eliminating that 8-point lead. He's going to get hit with stalling again. Giving up that another point, so that's out of reach here.
10, and that's going to do it. At 160, Ben Polsky with the 11-1 major decision victory over Jordan Rubner. And unfortunately, that's going to do it for the team score, as we have just two varsity matches left. With Denver up 40-27. See what Wapsie Valley can do here. 170 coming up. Sam Banger for Wapsie Valley will take to the mat against Cooper south of Denver.
See if Sam can pull some of that magic out again. Get the win here. Right in on a front headlock. Oh, he was looking big there, Blake. He was looking big and must not have just didn't feel right. Right back out of it. You know, Sam's a lot like his older brother. He keeps himself in matches, and there is never a point where they feel like they're out of it. They were both the wrestlers that, like I said earlier, if there was time on the clock, there was time for them to win. So,
Sean, a pretty good wrestler in his day for Wapsie Valley, getting to a few district tournaments, but unfortunately ran into some stiff competition. Wasn't quite able to break through and get down to the state tournament.
He did. His junior year, he really took off, and I want to say at one point down at the state wrestling tournament on the 1A mats, there was, I want to say, between regional duels and state duels, there was 6 kids wrestling at the state tournament that he had beaten in the last 2 weeks. So he definitely had the caliber, just never worked out, and then had some tough luck his senior year. About right after Christmas, I believe, Decorah duels, he ended up breaking his ankle and sidelined him for the rest of the season. That's tough to see, but we've got Sam out here wrestling now. And
so we missed early on. Sam was able to get a takedown to start off the match, was up 2-0, and just a second ago gave up the escape at the edge of the mat to South. Banjer with a 2-1 lead. 35 seconds to go in period number 1 at 170 pounds. And South gets the takedown.
And Sam needs to
3-2.
settle back. Oh, he just missed it. If he could have got that leg settled back just a little bit, he was in prime position to pull out the upset here. But
has Banjer in the cradle there, trying to rock his way out of it. Does give up the 3 points on the near fall, but gets back onto his hands and knees. And that's going to end the first period with Cooper South of Denver up 6-2 on Sam Banjer.
I see we're missing tonight. We're missing Isaiah Price and Isaiah Morris. The Isaiahs are out sidelined with some injuries. I don't know for sure what they are, but hopefully they aren't too serious, and we get to see them back in action here.
And 2 there for South early in this second period, upping his lead 8-2 on Sam Banjer.
In this duel, they lost to Denver. That's something you never want to do. But Denver they're right on that line of being a top 10 ranked team in the state. And that all comes down to what the district pairings come out to be and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if Denver makes their way to the regional dual tournament. But as right there, that's South gets the fall on Sam Banjer.
That fall coming in 2:56. Cooper South over the Warriors Sam Banjer. And in our final varsity match of the night, we will see at 182 pounds, Derek Hilsenbeck for Wapsie Valley. He will be taking on the Cyclones' Bo Bonnet. Final match of the night, 182 pounds, Derek Hilsenbeck, Bo Bonnet.
It's nice seeing all these young kids up here in the upper weights, show some light on what the Warriors are going to be able to fill in their lineup over the next couple of years. You're not waiting for that bigger guy to come in. We've got plenty of guys right up in that were willing to step up this year, and as freshmen in those upper weights, it gets pretty hard. But, number one thing, if they keep their head up, keep moving forward, and learn from these losses and keep on moving, it shouldn't affect them.
Bonnet taking the action to Hilsenbeck there, picking up a quick 2 around the 15-second mark. Action out of bounds. Bring it back to the center of the mat with Bonnet up 2-0 on Hilsenbeck.
Bonnet's got a nice deep half in there working on Hilsenbeck. Hilsenbeck needs to look away from that if he can, peel that hand off. Looks like he's going to be able to get it done, get back to his base. He does give up the 3-point near fall. The official covering this mat is Ryan Fank. He's a Wartburg wrestler. Do believe maybe a national champ over there for Wartburg.
Interesting match where we saw Wartburg going down and wrestling Iowa State last week.
It was, and Wartburg only, I think they wrestled, I don't remember how many matches total, 25 or 27, somewhere there. Wartburg only won those 2, but it's nice to see, small school teams willing to take that step up and see where they compare to the big Division One teams. But they maybe weren't going in there expecting a dual win against Iowa State, but it's a good measure with all the matches they've missed this year, that being their first one. It was a good measure to see where their kids are at. When you get shortened competition time, you really need to get in there get quality matches in and try to get moving a little quicker.
End of that first period there sees Bo Bonnet with an 8-0 lead over Derek Hilsenbeck. Got the takedown and a pair of 3-point near falls. As we go to the second, Hilsenbeck on top, and Bonnet gets the escape, pushing the action, and out of bounds. Back to the middle of the mat. So you've said over there at Wartburg, 2 wrestlers recently that I know of, Colin Schrader and Caleb Krull, the older brother of Warrior 106-pounder Easton Krull. Both of those guys were state place winners, and Krull a state champ in their day here. They roamed the halls of Wapsie Valley.
Yeah, it's nice to see those kids moving over there, and I do believe Colin played football as well. Nice to see those guys going to a local school where everybody can keep their eye on them.
Another local school boy coming from Wapsie Valley. We mentioned earlier, Donnie Schmidt. He unfortunately dropped his match today against Northern State in Upper Iowa's duel against the Northern State Wolves by 2 points, 8-6. Definitely a lot to look forward to for Donnie and the Peacocks this year. And back on the mat here, we see Bo Bonnet with an 11-0 lead on Derek Hilsenbeck in this 182-pound match. Under a minute to go in the second period.
There, Hilsenbeck trying to pull something out of the back pocket, being down 11-0. Needs to get a couple more of those. I know we got, a period and some to go here, but being down 11-0 like we talked about, needs to get to the point. Might be a little late to pick away at it. We need to be looking for something big here. He gets the escape. Hopefully that can start a little action of his own. If he sits up, he just needs to sit up right there, get himself, kind of just gives up on that leg and goes to a base position.
Bonnet will cut Hilsenbeck there. His lead now 13-2. 5 seconds to go in this second period.
He just really needs to dig. You just need to dig that out.
Bonnet in, gets the shot right before the whistle. 15-2.
Okay, and this is like we were saying. Hilsenbeck's just going to go ahead and take top. That way he can work something, work a pinning combination. If Bonnet gets a reversal, that will end the match with a technical fall. He's going to be working for an escape.
He's going to grab the left leg there of Bonnet. Try to turn that, but ends up getting his head down. Trying to fight off the reversal here, and there it is. That's going to be the tech fall. 17-2 for Bo Bonnet for the Cyclones over Derek Hilsenbeck. 6 minutes. Wait, that's not right. There was definitely time on the clock there.
Yeah.
I would say it was actually at about
4:29.
4:29, even maybe in less than that, a couple ticks of the clock. But that's going to do it tonight in the final duel of the night. Denver takes it over Wapsie Valley, 51-27. Wapsie Valley going 1-1 on the night with a victory 51-30 over BCLUW South Hardin. In the second duel, Denver beat the Storm 71-9, and in this third match, just heard it there, 51-27, the Cyclones, a victory over the Warriors. A recap of that duel there. Easton Krull at 106 for the Warriors, picked up a forfeit. 113, Dawson Schmidt, ranked number 4 at 113 pounds, picking up a pin in 319 over Rhett Bonnet. 120 pounds, the Cyclones. Joe Ebaugh, ranked number 4 at 120. Pinning Cole Snyder in 43 seconds. 126, Gavin Leistkow, a tough 10-8 decision over Josh Terrell. 132 pounds, Austin Hesse with a pin of Evan Dorn in 246. 138, the Cyclones. Number 3, Isaac Schimmels over Brady Benning, a pin in 101. 145, Alex Krabanoff pinning Tylen Hirsch in 5:15. 152, Cole Miller, a pin of Jake Shore in 2:50. 160, the Cyclones, Ben Polsky, a major decision, 11-1 over Jordan Rubner at 170. Cooper South for the Cyclones, pinning Sam Banger in 2:56. At 182, Bo Bonnet, a tech fall victory you saw just a minute ago, 17-2 in 4:24 over Derek Hilsenbeck. 195, Brennan Graber, a forfeit win for the Cyclones. 220, Keegan Brown, a forfeit win for the Warriors. And at 285, Cade Bonnet, a forfeit win for Denver. All wrapping up the final duel of the night. Johnny, what things do you see there tonight for Wapsie Valley, and what do you see from them going forward?
You know, this is a dual night, would say, especially. You know, they got a nice win over BCLUW. Had some look good out there. Run into a little bit of a tougher team in Denver. You know, turned out to be, it was tight there for a long time. Denver kind of took away there at the end, but definitely not a duel to hang your head about. We had guys out there wrestling well. You know, it's just one of those things. A few small changes in a couple of those matches, and you swing a couple of those matches, and all of a sudden that 27-51 win could be a 36-40 close match. So definitely nothing to hang your head about. You know, should see some smiles on faces after this. Should see some kids determined to get back in the room and work. But first duel back from Christmas is usually pretty lackadaisical. Kids get it a little slow, but definitely did not see that tonight. You know, we had kids coming out here pretty on fire, but no, from here they go Saturday to the Tripola tournament, and I wouldn't see Tripola changing anything at this point with the new regulations passed out today, but as of now, the Tripola tournament is just no spectators. I do know that you can, I don't know if it's through track wrestling, but I know you can buy a day pass by the mat. So $5 a mat, $10 gets you all the action you want. But yeah, I don't know if they have lost any meets here on the second half of the season, but I know they lost a couple there in the beginning of the season, a couple tournaments, but you know, it's one of those sports too. You know, the boys basketball team figured that out last year. You can have a rough start of the year if you are, and you've got plenty of time to turn around and peak at the right time. So wrestling's one of those, you're going to go into sectionals. Seeding's going to play out how it will, but seeding's, you know, they're only a prediction of the day. They aren't the outcome. So, you know, look for some of these kids. Gavin Lysko looked really well tonight. Easton Crawl looked really well tonight. Dawson looked really well. You know, you're going to see some of them kids making a good push to the postseason, so it'll be exciting to watch.
Definitely be an interesting season coming up for the Warriors. Tonight they go 1-1. Their dual record in the season now 9-4 and 6-2 in the conference. The Warriors schedule looking up, as Johnny already mentioned. They go to the 54th annual Tripola Invitational this weekend, and they have a JV tournament next weekend at Independence, as well as the varsity going up to MFL Marmac. Probably see some stiff competition at that tournament, and their next time out in the dual format will be on the 21st when they face Dyke New Hartford and East Marshall. I want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight, watching the duels between the Warriors, Cyclones, and Storm. Hope you all enjoyed. We didn't annoy you too much, and thank you, Johnny, for joining me on the broadcast tonight.
No problem. That's too bad there's not any more of these home meets to sit up here as fun.
Well, once again, we thank all of you for tuning in tonight. Have a great rest of the night. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. And as always,